chime in. I'm doing a promptu live today. I got a lot of things going on, a lot of things in the works. So I just want to update you guys on where the direction of the channel is going. What are some of the plans that I have set in motion for the channel? But first, let's do a wristwatch check. I'm actually double wristing today. So I got my SKX on the left, and we got the Aventurina by Vienna on the right. And I want to do a review of this next. You guys know that I'm doing independent brands and I'm getting excited about that. I just got the first review out on Friday. I was really happy with the results and I got some great feedback on that. A lot of people reached out and told me some things that I could do to improve. A lot of people told me that they liked certain things, like the fact that I shot it outside. Not too many people are doing reviews where they do shots outside. I did that in the beginning and I did that in the end of the live. So that's something that I'd like to incorporate. Working on my editing skills as far as that goes too. I've been having a lot of fun, just messing around with that. And the thing is to try to improve on that little by little, right? Like there's so many different things that you could do on the editing software that you're not going to be able to learn right away. So it's stuff that you're going to have to work on down the road. So great things in store, man. I'm really happy with the progression of the edits that I've done thus far. Like going back to my first video where it was terrible in some sense. I mean, listen, a lot of people starting off, that's how the first video is gonna look. The camera was down below. I wasn't looking into the camera, which I'm not exactly doing that right now, right? I gotta look into the little spot over there. But as I saw from that first video to that review, I was really proud of it. And I know that I'm only going to get better as far as that goes. So great things in store, man. Really excited to really collab with anybody who's an independent brand. And I'm not going to do just reviews on independent brands. I'm going to do what's in my collection. And if somebody's a big brand, I'm more than happy to do a review for them as well. I actually got a recommendation from a viewer telling me that I should reach out to Jody, right, from Just One More Watch, and see if I reach out to do a review on his Erebus collection. And I did that. I reached out to them. I shot them an email, and I'm waiting to hear back. That was just yesterday. So a lot of good things, man. I was talking with the wife yesterday. She brought up a very good question. So my wife told me, she goes, we were just talking like candidly, we were talking just, normally about the channel. And she asked me a question of, what is the channel about? What are you trying to achieve? And it really made me think for a moment, because it's not that I don't know what I want to do with the channel, because I do, but it's more about putting it into words. And of course, there's, some generic things like doing watch reviews or, trying to be inspiring and everything else. And that's exactly what I'm trying to do with this channel. I want to inspire new collectors. I want to inspire, people that have been collecting for a while, and give content where I can know it could be a little daunting, right? Like there's not sometimes many people in your personal life that collect watches that you can vibe with. So going to the community and being part of that community in a way where I'm making content is just been my passion. It's what made me do it in the first place. And that's exactly what I want to continue to do. Now, with that, of course, reviews of watches are going to be a big thing. And of course, like I always tell you guys, independent brands are really what my focus is at the moment and what I'd like to do. But I've got some other ideas in the works, some things that people haven't been doing, or haven't, at least things that I haven't seen other creators do. So, you know, I want to be able to separate myself to some degree, where it's like, okay, this channel is bringing something a little different. It has a little different of a spin on it. And it already does, because when you create a channel and you create content, there's a piece of you that you're putting into it, hopefully. And, you want to be authentic. You want to be the person that you are behind the scenes when you're in front of a camera. And I always want to deliver that. But yeah, man, a lot of exciting things, a lot of exciting things. And I really hope that Jody from Just One More Watch receives my message well. And I hope that he sees, I know that I'm a smaller channel. I'm just starting off. So things are probably as a business end, and I don't take anything personally, because I know at the end of the day, that's what they have to treat exactly, what their business is. And, we'll see. We'll see. I figured I at least would give it a shot. Now, I don't have a lot of followers on here, but guys, for the ones who are following me already, you guys have already felt like thousands and thousands of people from the amount of communication that we've had going back and forth. You guys really just genuinely liking the content that I'm putting out and giving me the feedback, right? Like you guys are really spending your most valuable thing in your entire life. And that's one thing that I came to realize and I came to respect. It humbled me. It's like at the end of the day, no matter how many people are watching your content, they're spending their most valuable resource, which is time, right? Like without that, money and everything else doesn't exist. So for everybody who's following me, anybody who's watching this in the playback, I really, really do appreciate you guys. You guys have been super consistent in following my videos step by step. Some of you, most of you, being only 3 months out, have been here on the ground level. And I've only received positive things and constructive criticism to make those transitions and get better over time. And you guys are going to see that for sure moving forward. In addition to reaching out to companies that are independent brands to get their watches in and do reviews on them, I'm also going to go out to some ADs and establish relationships with them because, you know, it's nice if I'm able to connect with somebody at an AD level and go in there and talk watches and build a relationship with them and really facilitate, you know, giving that experience and showing you that experience on camera for you guys. And then of course, they're gonna have all of these watches there at location and one hand washes the other. I'll refer anybody who wants to work with me and collab. So super excited to do that moving forward. I'm making some business cards so we could be a little bit more professional when it comes to that, walking in and saying, hey, this is what I'm doing on Watch Crunch and YouTube, and you know, this is what I can do as far as exposure. And if you guys give me, you know, the means of getting the, you know, products to do those reviews, then one hand washes the other, two hands wash the face, you know? So I'm excited to really try and see if I can make that happen and have a lot of fun in the process and create unique content for you guys. So third, I got my Super Bowl coming up, and for me, my Super Bowl is the Wind Up Watch Fair. I'm making a lot of plans. Now that's going to be in October in New York, so there is a lot of time in between where, you know, that's going to happen. But just to give you guys a little bit of insight, I'm planning on doing a live. And from what I saw from the San Francisco videos that have been put out there, there were a couple of content creators who did a live from there, and I thought that was fantastic. And I think that that has a lot of value because not a lot of people can get to these shows and experience these things. And it's a shame in one end, but at the other end, I think that content creators that do talks about watches have the ability or the passion to go out there and do a live while being at some of these shows to give you guys the closest experience that you can get if you're not able to get over there and do it yourself. So along with that, obviously it's going to align with me trying to establish relationships with, you know, these independent brands one by one. And I'm really looking at it as it's 3 days long. So I may be there every single day, one day to do a live, the next day to shoot content for like a long form video that isn't live. And then I might the third day just go there as a watch enthusiast, right? Because when we have the camera on and we're worried about the content and we're worried about, you know, everything, the setup and just like the flow of the conversation and everything else, there's just so much on your mind that it can take away from enjoying yourself while you're at the shows. So on the third day, I want to be able to just go there and really take a comb over all of the watches that are there and interact with the owners and the sales reps as much as I can to really understand who those peoples and who those individuals are and really appreciate the timepieces that they've poured their time and passion into creating and just really soak it in. Because since I've been getting into independent brands, I've been trying to do some homework, right? I'm watching videos, I'm going on their website, and you can get a lot. And it is a responsibility to be educated on who you're trying to cover or who you're talking about moving forward. But I'm really like a learner where I learn being in person, right? Like book, pen, reading off of the internet, seeing images. that doesn't really work for me to the furthest degree that it can. If I meet the actual owner of the watch company and we have a nice conversation, that's something that's going to stick with me for a lifetime, and they're going to make an impression in me. And that's the reason why they're there. Yes, they're there to sell their watches, but some companies that go to the Watch and Wines, they don't even sell watches there. They're just there to show you guys what, products that they've come up with, what timepieces they've developed, and then really get feedback from the customers to make themselves better. And then in addition to that, they're going to make their products better, and then they're going to also be able to explain to you guys in detail why they came out with certain watches, whether it be old or new, and you guys can have a more informed um, decision on whether or not those watches are really going to fit in your collection. Because the only downside of these independent brands is that they are not at the ADs, so you can't touch and feel. And to some degree, you still aren't if you're just watching an online content. But I'm going to make sure to let you guys know, my wrist size, and get a couple of shots of my fan favorites at the show, so you can kind of get an idea on what the sizing will look like on your wrist, but also get the back history and get the individuals that are willing to jump on that live with me and explain in detail who they are, as far as like as a company, and what their mission statements are and everything else. So yeah, man, that's my Super Bowl. That's something that I'm super excited for. I hope that I could, follow through with that promise, because there's a lot of things that goes on as far as having the complete setup, and hopefully the Wi-Fi is strong enough. And I do think, again, from watching the San Francisco edition, that they have a Wi-Fi setup there, and the places are bigger. So they're actually making the locations bigger in square footage, right? So when I went to the Watch and Wine Fair last year, it was kind of smaller. It was a little crammed. I mean, listen, it's New York, so we're all used to, things being jam-packed, a lot of people, the population is very big, and there's only but so much space. So we're kind of used to it. But as far as shooting content goes, people being kind of like in the way, or, just having to wait too long in between, it could kind of get a little frustrating. But I think that the venues that they're picking for this year are going to be bigger. They are seeing the growth as far as who is attending and how many people are coming to see that thing. So they are looking to expand and make that a little bit more friendly as far as the experience goes. So I'm also excited to see how that plays out and everything else. And I'm going to take you guys along with me in that journey and everything else. So a lot of good things, man, in store, a lot of ideas that I have moving forward. And I'm really just evolving with you guys. So if you're watching this, make sure to let me know after watching some of my content how you think I can improve. I really want there to be a dialogue. I really want there to be some communication, or maximum amount of communication between us, because that's only going to make me better. It's just like when those independent brands are going to the shows and they're doing it for exposure to get feedback about their product. It just makes everyone better, and it makes those kinds of improvements, where you're just able to get it in detail. So if you guys have any suggestions for me moving forward, please let me know, and I'm more than happy to take a look at it, chew on it, and try to implement it if it aligns with what I'm trying to do here with my content, for sure. So definitely do that, guys. And what else do I want to go over, man? Yeah, I feel like there's so much that's been happening this weekend. It's been really exciting and everything else. But yeah, man, I think that's pretty much it in a nutshell. Guys, if any of you that have been following me follow Jody as well, and I would imagine that probably all of you do. He's a great guy. He has phenomenal content. He's been doing it for a while. I think it's amazing that he came out with his own collection, and like I said, it gave me inspiration to reach out to him, even though I'm a little bit of an early bird. I'm a little bit rather green around the gills on the channel, only being 3 to 4 months old. But I said, you know what? Jody started off from somewhere. All of us did. All of the watch creators did, and it's kind of fitting that somebody who created so much content on watches released his own line, having so much insight in knowing where the market stands and what people can expect from quality and features within the watch. So I think it was a home run, and there's a lot of back and forth of what features were in the watch, or them being a little bit generic. And I know he even said recently on a review that he wished he extended himself a little bit more when it comes to that. But I don't know, man. I think that for the most part, it's easy to say that in hindsight. That's 2020, but looking back, it's not a guarantee as far as if you would have extended yourself and you did it too far, too fast. You know, things run thin. So I think for what he did, and I'm sure I'm not tracking the success, but I'm more than certain that they are having a fantastic success. They've already gotten a lot of YouTubers doing. I saw a few reviews on their first release, and it seems like he's doing a pretty good job. And Jody, if you're watching this by any chance, man, great job, brother. I absolutely love your channel. I love your watches, and I really hope that my email to you guys really hit home. You know, the main takeaway that I gave you from that email is that, hey, man, if anybody's going to understand, I think it's going to be you, Jody, and you're going to really understand like how it is to be an up and coming content creator for watches and really trying to mold yourself. So, you know, if you could find it in your heart to lend out a watch to an up and coming channel, man, 2 thumbs up, and I promise I'll work the best I can on the content for you. So yeah, guys, if you guys follow Jody, hop on one of his videos that he did on his watches, his new releases, and give my name a shout out if you're willing to, and say, hey, Skylar Santana is looking to get his hands on your watch as a loaner. You know, I think he's a great guy. I watch his content, whatever the case may be, and do a couple of shout outs on his channel in the comments. You know, don't flood it, don't spam it, don't take that angle, but pop in a couple of comments for your boy and tell him that you are a supporter of mine and you think that doing a review on his watch would be a great idea for that reason. So if you guys could do that, I'd appreciate it. What else, man? What else can I talk about on this live? We're gonna keep things short here. You know, I'm outside. I think my battery on my phone is about halfway at this point, but it was a prompt too, so I didn't expect too many people coming in and doing comments. I know a lot of you guys are busy. By the way, happy Mother's Day to everybody out there, man. That's probably what everybody's doing. In fact, I was on the road earlier and I saw all the places that have flowers and everything are jam-packed, and we already hung out with mom early on, and we're gonna hang out with my other mother. God bless me with 2 moms. I'm gonna hang out with my other mother and just make that weekend about them. Just taking a little bit time for myself here right now to just go over things with you guys and keep you guys updated on the loop. And that's pretty much it, man. So if you guys are watching this in the playback, happy Mother's Day to everybody out there. I hope you have a blessed Sunday coming up tomorrow, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.